It hit home because I grew up in Mexico, and the story of La Llorona is something that we grow up with, and definitely something I've experienced when I was little up until today. So I got very much attached to the story when I read the script. La Llorona, we grew up with the story of this woman who cries out because she lost her kids. We used to hear when we were little the story of this ghost, this woman who um, basically she was a woman that had really beautiful looks and found this man who then ends up leaving her, and in her desperation she drowns her kids in the river. By the time she realizes it's too late and she can't save them, so she's always on the search for kids. When we were little, well, the story that I used to hear all the time was, you have to behave, otherwise La Llorona can come get you. And we did behave, and we did believe it, oh, big time. In the story of the film, um, Linda, her story, her two kids are being taken by La Llorona, and in my character, her name is also Patricia. My two kids have been taken away from La Llorona, and because I have been under the guidance of Rafael, who used to be a priest, he knows very well how to get rid of this woman. And La Llorona comes in 3 days and 3 nights, so every night gets even harder. So this is my last night. My kids are being put away in a closet because that is the only way I can keep them safe. And then the character of Linda, obviously she doesn't believe what's going on, and she takes the kids away, and then my kids are taken away. I know so much about curanderos because, you know, we grow up in all our Hispanic countries. We grow up in very Catholic religion, but we've always had curanderos. Every time there is a desperate situation, whether it's for something good or whether it's because someone's sickness, or you go pray, but you always go to the curandero. I have to tell you that the process of this movie all happened very quickly, and for me, being Hispanic and also have lived in the U.S. for so long and being a part of the Hollywood world for so long, what really got to me from the script is that it was not only very nicely written, but it was very respectful of the part of the Hispanic side in terms of what La Llorona is and her story. And that really impressed me because we're so used to having stories that are inspired on something, but to try to respect it, but in a way it's almost cliche, and this does not feel cliche at all. It's so wonderful working with Linda. I have to tell you, you always get a little bit when you're going to work with another girl, and all of my scenes are with her, and she's the lead of the film. So you want to show respect and appreciation. But I have to tell you that Linda, and I was talking about this the other day, she's one of the most giving actresses that I have ever worked with. Someone that she gives you when you're on camera and when you're not on camera, when she's on camera, when she's off camera, she gives you exactly the same. And that, for me, right there, is the key of why she's so successful. Because she's just so generous in her performances and her work with other actors that makes you feel that you want to give even more. So it's really really wonderful to work with somebody who's not holding back. Well, Mike is directing this film, and I cannot tell you how pleased I am to have the opportunity to work with him, because every time you do a film, you actors, we all make our own movie. At the end of the day, everybody makes his own movie, and you kind of want to get your way. And it's so wonderful when you work with somebody who knows exactly what he wants. It's very admirable because he's very young, and he knows exactly what he wants and how to execute it, and he's not afraid to ask for it. So for me as an actress, it makes me feel very safe. I think audiences are going to love about this film. For me, what really got to me is it is really a wonderful story about the strength and the power of women. And, just the love for women, the support between women, the power of motherhood, how far are we willing to go in order to take care of our kids, and and just what happens when people help each other. Um, I think it is so nicely written in the film that you're seeing a scary movie with an incredible message.